Dear children, welcome to the 8th module of our chapter Force and Laws of Motion. Today we are going to discuss some of the numerical questions which I have given as homework in your previous module. So let's start our topic. Children, let's see the first question, that is exercise question number 6, which is given in page number 128. A stone of 1 kilogram is thrown with a velocity of 20 meter per second across the frozen surface of a lake and comes to rest after traveling a distance of 50 meter. What is the force of friction between the stone and the ice? Children, here you can see at the beginning itself the mass of the stone is given, that is mass m equals 1 kilogram. And the initial velocity of the stone is given as 20 meter per second. Initial velocity is represented by the letter u. So you can write u equals 20 meter per second. And the stone comes to rest. So its final velocity v equals 0. After traveling a distance of 50 meter, distance is represented by the letter s. So s equals 50 meter. You have to find the force of friction which brings this stone to stop. So you know the force of friction acts in the opposite direction of motion. So you have to find that force. So before finding the force, you have to find the acceleration. So you have to see which equation will be suitable to find it from the equations of motion. We have 3 equations of motion, and you know that in 2 equations the term t is present. That is, our first equation is v is equal to u plus at. Then the second is s is equal to ut plus half at square. And the last is v square minus u square equals 2as. So we can use only the last equation here to find this acceleration. So we are considering that equation, and here it is given in a arranged new form, that is v square. Actually we are telling v square minus u square is equal to 2as, but here u square also brought to the other side of equal to sign. So the equation is rearranged as v square equals u square plus 2as. While substituting the values correctly for v, u and s, you will get acceleration equals negative 4 meter per second square. Here you know that the acceleration contains a negative sign, which indicates that the acceleration is acting against the motion of the stone. Here the speed is decreasing and the stone is coming to stop. So the acceleration is negative acceleration, or it is decelerating. Now let's find the force. So the force equation is mass into acceleration. Mass is given as 1 kilogram and we got the acceleration as negative 4. So force F is equal to 1 into negative 4. You will get it as negative 4 Newton, because it represents the force of friction which acts in the opposite direction of motion. That is why here the force also having a negative sign. Now children, let's see the second question, exercise question number 7. A 8000 kilogram engine pulls a train of 5 wagons, each of 2000 kilogram, along a horizontal track. If the engine exerts a force of 40,000 Newton and the track offers a friction force of 5000 Newton, then calculate the net accelerating force and B, the acceleration of the train. And actually there is one more part for this question that I have explained at the last. So let's start the answer. First we will find the mass of the train. It is clearly given this train is having 5 wagons, each is having a mass of 2000 kilograms. So the total mass of the train, which is equal to 2000 into 5 equals 10,000 kilogram. And the force exerted by the engine which is given as 40,000 Newton. And the force of friction offered by the track is given as 5,000 Newton. So that we have to write again, that is force exerted by the engine, that is equal to 40,000 Newton. Force of friction is equal to 5,000 Newton. Now we will assume that the acceleration of the train is A, because A is the letter we are using to represent the acceleration. So we are assuming the same. A represents the acceleration of the train. You can see the schematic representation of this numerical here. So I think now it will be more clear to you. So the first part, the net force acting on the train, which is the difference between the force exerted by the engine and the force of friction. That means the force exerted by the train is pulling the train forward, but the force of friction will be opposing that motion. Both are acting on different directions. So you have to subtract the force of friction from the force exerted by the engine. So that will be the net force acting on the train. So the answer is 40,000 minus 5,000, which is equal to 35,000 Newton. Now we have to find the acceleration of the train. So the acceleration of the train, we are taking the general equation for force. Force F is equal to ma, but here force means it is the net force acting on the train, that is equal to mass of the train into its acceleration. While rearranging, we will get acceleration is equal to F by m. So while substituting the values, we will get the answer as 3.5 meter per second square. And the last part of this question is the force of wagon 1 on wagon 2. So when we find the force exerted by wagon 1 on wagon 2, we have to consider the rest of the wagons which is attached to the wagon 2, because here the mass is equal to the sum of the masses of wagon 2, 3, 4 and 5, because these all are attached one after the other and into its acceleration. So here mass m is equal to 4 into 2000, that is 8,000 kilogram, and the acceleration, both are all are accelerating the same way. So the acceleration is equal to 3.5 meter per second square. So the force exerted by wagon 1 on wagon 2, if you calculate, it is 8,000 into 3.5, that is equal to 28,000 Newton. Now let's see the next question, exercise question number 8. An automobile vehicle has a mass of 1,500 kg. What must be the force between the vehicle and the road if the vehicle is to be stopped with a negative acceleration of 1.7 meter per second square? Here the mass of the automobile is clearly given, that is m is equal to 1,500 kg. And the acceleration it is given, it is negative acceleration, that means the vehicle is stopping. So it is a deceleration case. So acceleration A equals negative 1.7 meter per second square. You can substitute these values directly in the force equation. Force F is equal to ma. So you will get the answer as negative 2,550 Newton. So the negative sign shows that the force, it is a retarding force which acts in the opposite direction of motion of the vehicle to stop it. Next is an objective type question. What is the momentum of an object of mass m moving with a velocity v? We already learned momentum is the product of mass and velocity. We represent momentum with the letter P, and P equals m into v. So option D is the answer. Now we will see the next question. This is the last question I have given as homework in our previous module. Using a horizontal force of 200 Newton, we intend to move a wooden cabinet across a floor with a constant velocity. What is the friction force that will be exerted on the cabinet? Here the horizontal force is given as 200 newtons. So we are writing that first. And we assume the force of friction as F friction or Fr. As short you can write it as Fr, force of friction. According to Newton's first law of motion, an object can be in uniform motion in the absence of an external unbalanced force. So in uniform motion, you know that the velocity remains constant. So here, if you want to move this wooden cabinet with constant velocity, the total force acting on this wooden cabinet should be 0. That means the force applied on the wooden cabinet and the force of friction, the sum of these two forces should be 0. Or we can write the force of friction is equal to negative of the force applied. That means the force of friction is equal to negative 200 Newton. That means the magnitude is equal to 200 Newton, and we have given the negative sign as the force of friction is exerting in the opposite direction of the motion of this wooden cabinet. So I hope it is clear. Now let's see the questions given in your page number 124, 25 and 26. That is question number 9.6, 9.7, 9.8. These three questions are the worked out examples which is given in your textbook, and these questions are based on conservation of momentum. So in the next part, we will discuss numerical questions based on conservation of momentum, and later you should see these questions from your textbook and write down these questions in your notebook.
Now we are going to discuss some tips for doing the numericals easily. The numericals of this chapter are mainly based on the following equations. Momentum P equals mass m into velocity v. Force F equals mass m into acceleration a, which also can be written as m into v minus u the whole divided by t. From the force equation we can write acceleration a equals F divided by m. The law of conservation can be expressed as ma ua plus mb ub equals ma va plus mb vb, where ma and mb are the masses of the objects a and b respectively. ua and ub represent their initial velocities, and Va and Vb represent their final velocities. When you are doing a numerical, first you should ensure that the physical quantities which you are substituting are expressed in SI unit. That is, if the mass is given in gram, you should convert that into kilogram by dividing with 1000 before substituting in the equation. Velocities should be in meter per second and the time to be in seconds. In numericals based on conservation of momentum, note the direction of motion of the objects. For example, if two objects coming towards each other and collide, one of their initial velocity to be negative. If the objects moving together after collision are entangled, their final velocities remain same. You can refer the worked out examples given at the end of the chapter. See the first question given here. It's a question based on law of conservation of momentum. But after jumping onto the trolley, both of them moving together. So we have given a common term v to represent their final velocity. The rest of the terms are clearly given in the question so that you can solve it easily. And in the second question, you have to find the force. But before you substitute the values in the equation for force, you should convert the mass of the bullet, which is given in gram, to be converted to kilogram. You worked out examples of 9.6, 9.7 and 9.8 in your textbook will give you an idea about how the values of velocity to be substituted according to the direction of motion of the objects during their collision. Dear students, I hope that the chapter Force and Laws of Motion is clear to you. Thank you for watching. May God bless you all.